welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part 18 and the last part of my makeup collection series. With this I'm going to conclude my makeup collection series. I'm not going to be diving into my lipstick collection. So let's get started with today's video, and before that, if you've not subscribed to my channel already, please do like and share my videos, and let's get started with today's video. And hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is part 18 of my makeup collection series, the last and final one. In today's video I'm going to show you guys all of my high-end eyeshadow palettes. For somebody like me who doesn't even use eyeshadow all that often, these many palettes is way too much. I counted them, they are a total of 30 and I really don't know what to say. Anyways, let's get started. Now, first one I have here is this Kylie Jenner Sipping Pretty palette. This was a limited edition one. It's a beautiful colorful palette. It has these really nice nudes and neutral tones as well, and a little bit pops of colors. The formula on this is really nice. It comes with a full-size mirror as well. It will give you literally everything that you need, even for an everyday basis, or to create a nice colorful look. It's a beautiful palette and the formula is really nice. Next up I have this Violet Was Like a Boss palette. This again is a really nice neutral tone palette. You get some really nice warm tones, some cool tones, and it's a beautiful palette. Again, you get a mixture of mattes and metallics, and again it comes with a full-size mirror, and the formula on the eyeshadow is really nice. Next up I have this Stila After Hours eyeshadow palette. It's a beautiful, more of a cool tone palette. It has these really nice shimmers. They are really beautiful, and they are super pigmented as well. The mattes are really nice, and again a beautiful palette. Comes with a full-size mirror. Packaging on this is really nice, but it's very heavy. I wouldn't say it's a very inconvenient palette to travel with, but it's a beautiful one nonetheless. Next up I have this one from Marc Jacobs. This is their Provocateur palette. It's a beautiful one. It's such a nice and a very petite packaging. It comes with a full-size mirror again. It's more of a pink and a black themed eyeshadow palette. You get a nice theme of colors, and this palette is enough to create a full-on eyeshadow look by its own. You get a nice crease shade, a bone shade, and these nice metallics and a matte shade as well, and it's a beautiful palette. Again, Marc Jacobs has discontinued their brand, so you cannot get it anymore, but I quite like this palette in my collection. Next up I have this one from NARS. This is their Skin Deep eyeshadow palette. Again, this was a limited edition one. Most of the eyeshadow palettes that NARS comes out with are mostly limited edition one. You cannot get them at all points of time. This again is such a nice neutral palette. You get some warm tones and some cool tones, and it's a beautiful palette. Perfect to be used on an everyday basis, and perfect to create a nice smoky eye as well, and I absolutely am a fan of this palette from NARS. Next up I have these two palettes from Inglot. These are custom made. I customized them by choosing some single eyeshadows of my own choice, and then you can customize them in these magnetic palettes. There is no theme in them. There's just some random shades that I liked, and the formula on the Inglot eyeshadows is just phenomenal. They are super pigmented. Like, look at this orange. It's such a bright shade, but it is so nice and pigmented, and just glide on like a dream, and they are a beautiful formula to work with. Next, I have these two palettes from Too Faced. This is their Pretty Rich palette, and this is their Sweet Peach palette. The Sweet Peach one is again a nice neutral palette with some pops of colors. Now you can see a pattern here. I like more neutral palettes in general, and the Pretty Rich one is a beautiful palette. It has these stunning glitters, then these metallic shades, and then these matte shades. You get a variety of colors and textures in this palette. Again, a beautiful one. The packaging on this is really heavy and bulky. I don't like the packaging that much, but trust me, the eyeshadows on this palette are absolutely phenomenal. They blend out stunningly. You can create so many eyeshadow looks with this one palette, and it is a beautiful palette. Next up I have these two palettes from Tarte. This is their Tartelette Toasted palette, and this is their Clay Plate palette. This one is a combination of these matte eyeshadows and these bronzy contoury shades, and then this one again is a beautiful neutral tone, warm tone palette. Both of these are absolutely stunning. This is perfect if you want to create a nice matte look. This is an all matte palette, and again a very stunning one. You get a nice variety of cool tones and some warm tones, a black and a bone shade. You get literally everything that you need to create a nice neutral matte look. And then this again is a beautiful warm tone look. You get some mattes, you get some metallics, you get a glitter shade, you get everything that you need for an everyday basis and to create a nice warm toned smoky eye look as well. Next up, I have these two palettes from Urban Decay. Urban Decay, I believe, is launching on Nykaa in November, and I am really excited about it. Urban Decay eyeshadows are absolutely phenomenal, and I have these two palettes from them. This again is a beautiful neutral warm tone palette. You get some really nice mattes, some metallics, some glitters, and it's a beautiful palette. This one is their Naked Reloaded palette, and trust me, it's a stunning palette to have in your collection. And then this, I believe, was a limited edition one. I'm not sure if you can get this anymore. This is their Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. Look at that variety, you guys. You get so many colors in this, and again you get some mattes, some metallics. You can use it on an everyday basis. You can use it to travel with. You can create so many different colorful looks and neutral looks with this palette, and it's a beautiful palette. The textures is stunning. The eyeshadows are so nice and pigmented and just glide on like a dream. I have just dipped my finger in and just look at how nice and pigmented they are. And this is one of my absolute favorite palettes of all time. Then I have this palette from Dior. This is their Backstage palette in the shade Amber Neutrals. Again, a beautiful neutral warm tone palette. You get some nice mattes, some metallics. This cream shade, this you can use as an eyeshadow primer, which I've never dipped into, but again a beautiful palette. You get everything that you need to create a full-on eye look. You get some nice crease shades, some bone shades, and a smoky shade. You get literally everything that you need to create a beautiful neutral eyeshadow look in this palette. And I forgot to include this one in the collection. I just found it. Anyways, we'll get to this later. First, I have to show you all of these palettes that I have from Natasha Denona. I have these 3 mid-sized palettes and then these 2 full-sized palettes. I am a fan of Natasha Denona eyeshadows, guys. The formulas on these are so stunning. You get so much product in each palette, and literally the formula on these is to die for. They are super pricey. They will cost you a fortune, but trust me, the formulas on these eyeshadow palettes is absolutely stunning. Now I have this one. This is their bronze palette. Again, just look at that beautiful palette. It is a nice neutral warm tone palette. You get so many mattes and metallics in this eyeshadow palette, and this is the palette of your dreams, especially for the festive season. You get literally every shade that you would probably need to create a beautiful festive look. And then this one is their pastel palette. Again, a palette of your dreams, especially during the summers. You get literally any pastel shade that you can think of in this palette, and the formula on each and every eyeshadow is just beautiful. Next up, I have this one. This is their Zendo palette. Again, a beautiful combination of some colors and some neutral tones. You get some warm tones, and it's again a stunning palette. I absolutely love this palette from them. Next, this one is my Natasha Denona Sunset palette. Again, a nice warm tone palette. You get some nice mattes, some metallics, some glitters. You also get these pops of colors in this. Again, it comes with a full-size mirror and a beautiful palette. Especially if you are too fond of some nice warm tone looks, this is a palette that you will absolutely love having in your collection. And then lastly, this is their Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. This one was a limited edition one. You cannot get this anymore. Just look at that palette, guys. You get some beautiful colors, some nice neutral tones, warm tones, cool tones, and literally everything that you need. I have used this palette so much in my personal life and on my channel, and it's a dream to work with. Next up, I have all of these eyeshadow palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills that I got in one of her kits that she came out with during some holiday season 2 or 3 years back. This one is their Modern Renaissance palette. This is their Subculture palette. This is their Soft Glam palette, and then this is their Prism palette. I don't think you can get Prism or Subculture anymore, but you can still get the Modern Renaissance and the Soft Glam one. Prism was one of the first palettes that she came out with, and it's a beautiful combination of some colors and some neutral tones. Again, Natasha Denona eyeshadows are so stunning. The formulas are beautiful. You can get a tad bit of a kickback if you dip your brush too hard in it because they are super pigmented. So just use a very light hand with the eyeshadows and you can get a full on pigment with using a tiny amount. Next up, the Subculture one again was one of the first palettes that she came out with. Again, some beautiful pops of colors, some nice neutrals, mattes and metallics, and a beautiful palette nonetheless. The Soft Glam is one of her most famous palettes. This was also used by Mickey Contractor and Alia Bhatt during the promotions of Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani, and again it's a beautiful neutral palette. This is more of a warm tone palette. You again get some nice mattes, some metallics, you get a nice black and nice maroon, and it's a beautiful palette to create a everyday look or to create a nice smoky look, and you will absolutely love having this palette in your collection. And then lastly, the Modern Renaissance one is more of a pink themed palette, I would say. This again has some nice neutrals and some nice pinks. A beautiful palette nonetheless. You can create so many different looks with this, and trust me, it's a stunning palette as well. And then lastly, I have all of these eyeshadow palettes from Huda Beauty. These are her 7 small ones, 9-pan ones, and then this is the only larger palette that I have from her. This is her Wild Obsessions palette in the shade Jaguar. This is the Khaki Haze palette. This is the Nude palette in the shade Medium. This is the Lilac Pastels palette. These are the Warm Brown Obsessions palette, then the Smoky Obsessions palette, and then this is the Brown palette in the shade Toffee. Now, if you know me, you know how much I love my Huda Beauty palettes. Like, I get one palette in each sale that Nykaa puts out, and trust me, Huda Beauty palettes are literally everything that you will need to create any kind of a makeup look. I'm especially a fan of the 9-pan palettes because they are so nice and petite. Like, the size is so nice, it just fits in my palm. You can carry multiples of them around, and all of these come with a full-size mirror, and the formulas are absolutely stunning. And this is the only larger palette that I had, and you know, I was keeping an eye on this since the moment it was released, and I just got my hands on this during this sale on Nykaa where it was put on a 50% discount, and oh my god, I love it. It again is a beautiful neutral palette, has some nice warm tones and some cool tones as well. The texture on these is stunning. The mattes are to die for. You also get these 2 cream shades, you get this cream metallic shade. These shimmers are absolutely stunning. You literally need to just dip your brush in these eyeshadows and you can create a full on eyeshadow look with these. They are so nice and pigmented, just glide on beautifully, and they are absolutely beautiful. And well, that is it guys. These were all of my high-end eyeshadow palettes, and with this we come to an end of part 18 of my makeup collection series, and with this we come to an end of my makeup collection series in general. I'm not going to be diving into my lipstick collection as I said earlier, and that is it for today's video. And well guys, that is it. This was part 18 of my makeup collection series. These were all of my high-end eyeshadow palettes, and with this we come to an end of my makeup collection series. I hope you guys enjoy watching my videos. If you do, please like and share my videos and do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye.